Gospel for the first Sunday in Advent is from the Gospel according to Matthew, the 24th chapter. Glory to you, O Lord. Jesus said, "But about that day and hour no one knows, neither the angels of heaven nor the Son, but only the Father. For as the days of Noah were, so will be the coming of the Son of Man. For as in those days before the flood they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, until the day Noah entered the ark. And they knew nothing until the flood came and swept them all away. So too will be the coming of the Son of Man. Then two will be in the field, one will be taken and one will be left. Two women will be grinding meal together, one will be taken and one will be left. Keep awake, therefore, for you do not know on what day your Lord is coming. But understand this, if the owner of the house had known in what part of the night the thief was coming, he would have stayed awake and would not have let his house be broken into. Therefore you also must be ready, for the Son of Man is coming at an unexpected hour." And this is the gospel of our Lord.
Praise to you, O Christ.
Please be seated. Brothers and sisters in Christ, grace to you and peace from God our Father and our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, who said, "You also must be ready." Let us pray. May the words of my mouth and the meditation of our hearts be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord, our rock and our Redeemer. Amen. When one is reading a book, it is always helpful that you know the context of what that book is set in. When was it written? What was going on around the planet at that time? A good case in point is Charles Dickens' novel, A Christmas Carol, that we like to watch every year, and we like to look at Ebenezer Scrooge and kind of shake our heads at what a miserly man he truly was. But then you need to look at what was the context. What was going on in England at the time he wrote the book? Well, there was this little something called the Industrial Revolution. So what was happening was people were coming off the farms and coming into the city to work in factories because it was a much more stable income. You weren't dependent on the rains in the summer and the sun shining at the appropriate time. You just went into town and you showed up and you worked a shift and then you went home and you knew that things were happening. But with that influx of people, there was a whole lot of stuff going on because a lot of people coming in were not making very good wages, so there was a whole lot of systemic poverty going on especially in the big cities like London and Birmingham and Liverpool and places like that. And he wrote a book criticizing the systemic poverty that was going on in London at that time. So you have Ebenezer Scrooge saying things like, are there no workhouses? Are there no jails? And maybe if there's such a drain on society, it would be better that they die. And so reduce the surplus population. Such a mindset. And Jesus is telling the people at that time something very important. We're going to be in Matthew's Gospel all year until the first Sunday of Advent next year. Then we'll go to Mark. This year we're going to talk about Matthew. Matthew was written for a Jewish community that had already seen the temple destroyed, had already seen Rome level Jerusalem to rubble, had already seen members that had been eyewitnesses to Jesus die. And it was kind of nerve-wracking because Jesus had made the comment that that generation wouldn't pass away until everything came into being. And now we're left with, well, what did he mean? Because that generation passed away. And if 1,000 generations have passed away, behind, guess what, folks? You wanted to be the one left behind. Because in that context, at that time, if you were taken, it was because if you were a man, you were just conscripted into Rome's army. You had no say in the matter. You were gone. Heck, if you had a family to support back there at home, you were now in Rome's army. So you did not want to be taken. You wanted to be left behind. And the same with women. If they were taken, it was for slavery. You wanted to be left behind. So the next time somebody says to you, I'm so afraid that I'll be left behind, you go, no, shouldn't that be good? Because you don't want to be conscripted, you don't want something worse to happen to you. And also, here's the thing that's faulty with that whole theology, is that it's clear in the Bible that Jesus comes back to earth. We don't go somewhere. Jesus comes here and reestablishes. We meet him in the air. That's in Thessalonians. And it's like when you go to the airport to pick up somebody, you're not standing down by baggage. You're standing as close as you legally can, running forward to them to give them a hug and a greeting, because you're seeing your loved one again and you're seeing Jesus again. And then you go on home. You don't stay in the airport. So Jesus is saying, keep awake, pay attention, do what you're supposed to be doing, because no one knows when I'm coming back. He says, I don't know when I'm coming back. And I think that's an important thing to remember too. And people tend to forget that. Oh, we're living in the last days. Paul was convinced he was living in the last days. Up until the moment the sword severed his head from his body, he thought he was living in the last days and that Jesus was coming any moment now. Followers of Jesus thought they were in the last days when they saw the temple be destroyed, or that Rome turned on them with a viciousness that would take our breath away. But we are called to stay awake, to pay attention, and do the business of our Father's kingdom, which we live in right now. Some of you have seen me share this meme on Facebook, but it's worthy of hearing right now. Martin Luther, in one of his Christmas Eve sermons, said, we all say that if we had owned an inn and saw that family coming to us, we would have opened our hearts because they had this baby that was about to be delivered. Yeah, maybe. Or maybe the inn was really full and you had no place to put that family. They were outsiders anyway. They were out-of-towners. The place was packed. But you get to serve a holy family every day by kindness to one another, by donating to food pantries. We have out there a board for there's 12 clients of Family Resource Center. Most of them want something as simple as a Walmart or Fairway gift card. They're for you to take and bring back next week. There's a kindness shown. Kindness is in talking with one another and listening to one another and praying for one another and asking one another, how are you doing? Do you have enough? Remembering that we can serve Christ best by serving others, serving those in need, those who don't have as much. Out of our excess, we give what we can. And that's a good thing. Some people like to make that like, oh, you're doing this out of your excess. Yeah, good. You know, that's what God expected of wealthy people to do, was out of their excess, give to help the poor. Context is everything. We live in a context today where there are wars and rumors of wars, just like there were when Jesus walked the planet. here, or I can go to this store and get it for 17 cents, and that makes a difference. We are called to be aware and to be awake and to be ready, because Jesus is coming back, and he's going to gather us all together, and it's going to be a glorious day, not a day of fear and dread. So let's live out our life when we go out of the walls of this sanctuary and give thanks to God and show him that we get it. Charles Darwin got it and was subversive in how he expressed it through one of our favorite books that he wrote. And this favorite book of so many, the Gospel of Matthew, tells us the same thing. Pay attention. Look outside of yourself. Trust in God. Serve others, which is serving God. It's welcoming the family in need, because that's who we are.